You do not need a fancy gym membership. You do not need expensive machines. And you definitely do not need an entire room packed with equipment to get stronger, leaner, and healthier. The truth is that for less than the cost of 1 month at many gyms, under $100, you could build a simple home gym that helps you burn fat, build muscle, and stay consistent. That is exactly what this video is about. By the end, you will know what to buy, where to start, and how to set it up so you can stop waiting and start training. I remember the exact moment this idea became real for me. It was one of those mornings where everything felt harder than it should. Rain was pounding outside. I had already hit snooze more times than I wanted to admit. I was supposed to get dressed, drive across town, look for parking, wait for equipment, and somehow find the energy to work out before the rest of the day swallowed me whole. And sitting there, tired and frustrated, I realized something. I was not struggling because I hated exercise. I was struggling because the process around exercise had become exhausting. The driving, the waiting, the time, the excuses. That morning, I made one decision that changed everything. I stopped trying to force fitness to fit into a complicated system, and I started building a system that fit my real life. That is when I started looking into building a home gym on a budget. Not a dream gym, not an Instagram gym, not some setup with mirrors, machines, and thousands of dollars in equipment. I mean a real-world, practical, affordable home gym that regular people can actually use. And what I discovered was surprising. So you can do a lot more with a lot less than most people think. The biggest mistake people make is believing they need everything at once. They start shopping like they are opening a commercial gym, a treadmill for hundreds of dollars, a bench they barely use, a giant rack they do not have room for, a pile of random gear that looks impressive but does not actually solve the real problem, which is staying consistent. And before they even begin, they are overwhelmed by the cost, overwhelmed by the clutter, and overwhelmed by the pressure to use it all perfectly. That is why so many expensive home gyms end up becoming coat racks. The smarter move is to build lean. Start with the equipment that gives you the most versatility for the least money. Choose tools that work for strength, cardio, mobility, and fat loss. Choose items that fit your space, fit your budget, and most importantly, fit your life. Because the best home gym is not the one that looks the most impressive. It is the one you actually use. So let's start with the foundation, resistance bands. If you have never trained with resistance bands before, do not underestimate them. They are one of the best budget-friendly fitness tools you can buy. A good set usually costs between $15 and $25. And with that one purchase, you can train nearly every muscle in your body. You can do rows, presses, curls, squats, shoulder work, glute work, tricep extensions, chest flies, deadlift patterns, and more. They are light, portable, easy to store, and incredibly effective. What makes bands so useful is that they allow beginners to start safely while still giving more advanced users enough tension to feel challenged. You can increase or decrease the difficulty quickly. You can take them anywhere. You can use them standing, seated, on the floor, or attached to a door anchor if your set includes one. That one small set opens up a full-body workout library without taking over your house. If you are trying to build a gym under $100, resistance bands are not optional. They are one of the smartest first purchases you can make. The next piece of equipment is one that many people overlook, but once they start using it, they wonder why they waited so long. A jump rope. For around $10 to $15, a jump rope gives you one of the most efficient cardio tools available. It raises your heart rate quickly, improves coordination, challenges your lungs, and helps you burn serious calories in a short amount of time. It also takes up almost no space. You can hang it on a hook, toss it in a drawer, or pack it in a bag. And here is why that matters. A lot of people say they want to do cardio, but what they really mean is they want cardio that is convenient. They do not want to drive to a gym just to use a machine for 20 minutes. A jump rope removes that excuse. 2 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 10 minutes after strength training, it all adds up. It is simple, powerful, and cheap. If your goal is fat loss, conditioning, or improving endurance at home, a jump rope gives you an incredible return on a tiny investment. Now let's talk about the item that adds a little more strength training power to your setup: dumbbells. If your budget allows it, this is a strong addition. You do not need an entire rack. You do not need 10 pairs. One moderate pair of dumbbells can carry a lot of your workouts. Depending on where you shop, you can often find a pair for around $20 to $35. If you are willing to look at secondhand options like local marketplaces, garage sales, or resale apps, you may find even better deals. With dumbbells, your training options expand fast. Goblet squats, overhead presses, bent over rows, lunges, Romanian deadlifts, floor presses, farmer carries, weighted core work. One pair can support your full body if you use it well. And that is the key idea in this entire video. You do not need more equipment. You need more value from the equipment you choose. So let's pause and look at the budget. Say you spend $20 on resistance bands, $12 on a jump rope, and $30 on dumbbells. That brings you to $62, which means you still have room left to make your setup more comfortable and more usable. That is where an exercise mat comes in. This may not feel exciting, but it matters more than people think. A decent mat, usually around $20 to $30, changes the whole feel of your workouts. It protects your knees during floor work. It cushions your hands during push-ups. It supports your back during ab work, stretching, and mobility sessions. It also helps define your workout area. When you unroll that mat, it sends a signal to your brain. This is training time. That mental shift is powerful. One of the hidden benefits of a home gym is that it turns fitness into something accessible instead of something distant. You are not preparing for a trip to the gym. You are stepping into your own training zone. Even if that zone is just one corner of your room, it becomes a place where action happens. At this point, your total is likely somewhere between $82 and $92. That means you may have a little room left for one final upgrade: mini loop bands. These usually cost about $8 to $12, and they are especially useful for lower body training. They are great for glute bridges, lateral walks, squat variations, kickbacks, and hip activation. If you want to train your legs and glutes more effectively at home, these small bands can make a big difference. Now think about what you have built. For under $100, you have a setup that covers strength training, cardio, mobility, core work, and recovery. You have tools for beginners and room to progress. You have equipment that fits in a small space and still gives you a wide range of workouts. That is a real gym. Not because it looks fancy, but because it works. And this is where I want you to stop thinking like a shopper and start thinking like someone building a system. The reason most fitness plans fail is not because people do not care. It is because their setup creates friction. The gym is too far. The membership is too expensive. The environment feels intimidating. The schedule never lines up. By the time all those barriers stack up, the workout never happens. A home gym changes that. No commute, no lines, no monthly fee, no waiting for a machine, no wondering if people are watching you. You wake up, clear a little space, grab your bands or dumbbells, and begin. The easier it is to start, the more likely you are to stay consistent. And consistency is where real change happens. You do not need a full room either. That is another myth. A small space is enough. A corner of your bedroom, a section of the living room, a bit of open floor in the garage. If you can lay down a mat and extend your arms comfortably, you can get a lot done. The goal is not perfection. The goal is availability. When your workout space is ready, your excuses get weaker. Let me show you what this could actually look like in a week. On Monday, you could do a full body strength session with dumbbells and bands. Tuesday could be jump rope intervals and bodyweight cardio. Wednesday could be stretching, core work, and mobility on the mat. Thursday could focus on lower body using loop bands and resistance bands. Friday could be upper body with rows, hip presses, curls, and tricep work. Saturday could be a short conditioning circuit using the jump rope, mat, and dumbbells. Sunday could be your recovery day. That is a complete training week built from less than $100 worth of equipment. And if that sounds simple, good. It should be. Fitness works better when it is simple enough to repeat. A lot of people get trapped chasing complexity because it feels more serious. But complicated does not always mean effective. Sometimes the most effective thing is a setup that removes excuses and makes movement part of your normal life. If you are enjoying this video so far, take 2 seconds and hit the like button. It helps this video reach more people who think getting fit has to be expensive, and it tells me to make more content like this. And if you want practical home workout ideas, simple fat loss strategies, and real advice for real budgets, make sure you subscribe right now, because that is exactly what this channel is built for. Here is something else I want you to remember. Results do not come from owning equipment. Results come from using it. The resistance bands sitting in a drawer will not change your body. The jump rope hanging on a wall will not improve your endurance. The dumbbells in the corner will not build strength by themselves. The magic is in the repetition. In the days you do not feel like it, but train anyway. In the 20-minute workout that almost did not happen. In the habit of showing up again and again. That is why this kind of home gym can be so powerful. It lowers the barrier between intention and action. You stop saying, "I need to get to the gym," and start saying, "I can work out right now." That shift may sound small, but it changes everything. And if you have tried to get in shape before and fallen off, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not lazy and you are not broken. Sometimes the system you were trying to follow was simply built for a different life. A system that requires extra time, extra money, extra travel, and perfect energy every day will fail a lot of normal people. What you need is a setup that works on busy mornings, tired evenings, and real schedules. That is exactly why a budget home gym is such a smart move. You are not building this to impress anyone. You are building it to remove friction. You are building it so you can train in privacy, so you can save money, so you can stay consistent, so you can finally stop waiting for someday and start with what you have. So here is your challenge. Pick your first 3 pieces of equipment today. Resistance bands, jump rope, and a mat. Or bands, dumbbells, and a mat. Build from there. Start simple. Start smart. Start now. The goal is not to have the perfect gym by next month. The goal is to have a working system by this week. And drop a comment below telling me what the first piece of equipment will be. Is it the resistance bands? The jump rope? The dumbbells? I want to know what your under $100 home gym is going to look like. That comment is more than a comment. It is a commitment. It is you deciding that your fitness does not have to wait for more money, more time, or better conditions. Your home gym does not need to be flashy. It needs to be usable. It does not need to cost a fortune. It needs to help you train. And it does not need to happen someday. It can start today for under $100, right where you are. The equipment is simple. The plan is doable. The opportunity is right in front of you. All that is left is your decision to begin.